All right, this is Hendry and Parker, PA, legal short podcast that we've been doing. We're going to get right to it. We get the question all the time. If I get pulled over, do I blow? Do I blow in the breathalyzer? Do you get that a lot?
I get it all the time myself, and it's a tough question to answer. It really depends upon how much you've had to drink over how large a period of time.
What a lawyer answer.
Yeah, it does depend. It does depend.
All right, so my answer that I usually give is if you don't know, don't blow. If you don't know if there's a chance that you're going to blow over the legal limit, which is .08, which doesn't take much alcohol at all, then you probably shouldn't. But you have to remember that if you don't blow, then you're going to lose your license for a period of 1 year.
Yes, you will. Now you can get a hardship license during that period of time. Typically, if it's the first time you've refused to blow, essentially you can drive to work while your DUI case is pending, assuming you get arrested for a DUI. But normally, if you don't blow, you are going to be prosecuted for a DUI.
Whenever you get your driver's license, you fill it out and you sign it, and right underneath of it, when you can see it, pull it out of your pocket here, you'll see it, and most states are all the same. Operation of a motor vehicle constitute consent to any sobriety test required by the law. So that basically means the DMV who issues this license will be the ones who suspend your license for a period of 1 year for noncompliance of any sobriety test. That could be urine, that could be breath, that could be doing the field sobriety exercises where you're walking and turning. You've seen people do them on the side of the road. You may have done them yourself. But they will suspend your license if you don't do that. Now, that's the downside to not blowing. What are the upsides?
The upsides to not blowing are that you provide your attorney with a lot more ammunition to fight the charge. If you come in hopeful that you're going to get acquitted on a DUI charge and you blow significantly over the limit, your odds of success are very low.
If the state doesn't have the proper evidence to convict you, it's going to make it more difficult for them. However, it's very important to know that it does not mean that the state doesn't have any evidence just because you didn't blow. Because there's also videotape of you, most likely. There's audio tape of you. They're looking for slurring. They're looking for bloodshot, watery eyes, and they're looking for smell of alcohol. And those three things you can almost counter on just about every police report for a DUI that you see. Am I right?
Watery, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, staggered to the car, pretty much the standard language for a DUI. Whether or not that's the reality or not, that's what's going to be written in that police report.
And if the police officer sees those things, the police officer puts those things down, that's evidence against you. Also, it's very important to know that if you do go to a jury trial and you're challenging the state with their evidence that they provide to a jury to decide whether or not you're guilty of driving while impaired, they can also bring up the fact that you refused to blow.
And they're going to say that that's consciousness of guilt. You can just be assured that the state's going to argue that the sun's going to rise. If you didn't blow in a DUI arrest, they're going to say it's because you knew you were guilty, you knew you would blow over the limit, and they're going to try to essentially ram that down the defense's throat during trial.
And I can tell you, as a state attorney, I've won several trials in which the defendant did not blow. I prosecuted several drunk driving charges or DUI charges, driving under the influence, for people who did not blow.
Right.
Just because I was able to tell the jury, what is he hiding from you, or what is she hiding from you when they didn't blow?
And it's a even more difficult task, I think, for the defense attorney if there's no blow and no video, because then all you have is the officer's testimony. Because there are cases where video shows that the person looks and appears to be fine, like they're not impaired at all. And the video may be completely contrary to what the police officer says. And that can be very helpful for us in a case like that. If there's no blow and a good video, your chances are much better at beating that case.
Don, I got a question for you. You're an attorney, right?
I'm an attorney, son.
I had 2 drinks.
Yes, sir.
And if I had 2 drinks and I'm leaving the Christmas party, do I blow?
Well, first thing I'm going to ask you is, how strong were those drinks?
Well, I had two Long Island iced teas, and they were tall boys.
Well, that's probably, what, 5-6 ounces of liquor in each. Yeah, I'd say you don't want to blow because you're going to blow way over if you've had two Long Island iced teas.
And anytime someone tells you they had two drinks, let's face it, they probably had four.
That's pretty common. Because what's the most common thing someone tells an officer if they admit to have been drinking? How many drinks?
Two.
2 drinks.
Two
I just
drinks.
had 2.
They've heard it every time.
And the officer,
if you had 100, you had 2.
Yep. 2 could be 10. 2 could be 3. 2 could be 2. But the
now, what
officer's
if I
probably not
tell you?
believing
Now,
it.
what if I tell you right now, Don, that I had 2 craft beers? I mean, I've been drinking for years. Can I drive?
How long a period of time? Over a couple hours?
No, it's about an hour.
1 hour. Hopefully, you've had a little bit of something to eat.
Well, it might not look like it, but I weigh 130 pounds.
Well, 132 craft beers in an hour, you may be okay, but you're going to be close. So
Should I risk it?
Yeah, that's a tough call. Now, if you're 180 pounds over an hour, hour and a half, I think you'd probably be okay. But if you're 130 pounds over an hour and you're drinking some 8% double IPAs, you may not want to blow.
We've talked about weight. We've talked about how many beers. We've talked about how long of a duration you had those beers. But what about also, have you eaten all day?
It makes a huge difference.
Are you on any medications?
Well, medications can be obviously troublesome if you're on any sort of prescribed medication, whether it's a narcotic or a sleeping aid. Combine that with alcohol, and it's going to magnify the effects, and you're probably not going to be performing very well on a field sobriety test.
And you can bet that the state's going to find out whether you're on those medications, and they're going to use that against you. So find out what medications you're on and make that be a decision. The thing is to have a plan. Always have a plan. First, have a plan when you go out. Do not drive if you're going to drink. I mean, it's so much cheaper to call Uber than it is to pay Don and I. Even though we're pretty reasonable for the most part, it's a lot cheaper to call Uber.
You're going to be better off with Uber or Lyft, that's for sure.
So always have that plan. The second plan that you have is when you get into the car and say you've had a drink or you've had 2 and you decide that you want to drive home or you can drive home, what is your plan? I mean, are you going to blow if you get pulled over? Have a plan. And the plan should most of the time, in my opinion, be if you don't know, you don't blow.
I think that if that's what you're looking at and you're not sure and you think you may be over, you probably are over, so don't blow.
The police are also going to ask you to do field sobriety tests. They're going to ask you to do a walk and turn. They're going to ask you to touch your nose, and they're going to ask you to do a leg lift. And these are all difficult things to do even when you're sober. But police are looking for certain cues, and part of that is following directions, not just the actual exercise themselves, but they're looking for how you follow directions, how you're standing when they're giving directions, and then once you do them. If you have any injuries and you decide to do these, make sure that you make it known that you have injuries. If you have a bad knee and you're getting ready to do a walk and turn, let the officer know you have injuries. Any type of sickness, any type of anything that can damage your ability to be able to complete these exercises, put it on the record because you're probably being recorded and it's too late to do it later after the fact.
Information like that can definitely help your lawyer should things go badly that night. So definitely make sure you do that.
It's a complex topic. I know we're always going to get that question, but if you don't know, don't blow, which basically means you shouldn't probably drink and drive. It's not illegal to drink and drive. It's illegal to drive while you're impaired. But sometimes you just don't know. You get the beer goggles on. You get a little liquid courage.
False sense of confidence.
Make a plan when you go out. Have a ride ready. Have an Uber ready. Have a DD. That's the best advice we can give you. But if you get yourself in a sticky situation, give us a call, 727-205-5555. And you can also check us out on our website at hendryparker.com. You can also be found at dunedindui.com. So that's it for Should I Blow?
Happy holidays, and everybody be safe out there. And if you happen to blow or not blow and things turn badly, give us a call.
Thanks.